You're watching Bhutan This Week with me, Gelson. Our top stories this week. The first ever nationwide survey on the prevalence of hepatitis begins. College of Science and Technology to offer Masters of Engineering in Renewable Energy from July this year. And residents of Topuchen town in Samsi worried after being asked to vacate. The first nationwide survey to estimate the prevalence of hepatitis in the country has started. Department of Public Health survey will also record the prevalence of antibodies to measles and rubella. Though hospitals maintain the records, it doesn't give a clear picture of prevalence of hepatitis in the country.
Firstly, to understand the burden of hepatitis B and C in our community, that is among the whole population in the country. Because so far, as of now, we don't have a documented evidence that the prevalence of viral hepatitis, especially hepatitis B and C, is this much. Once we complete that survey, the first thing is that we want to come up with a national action framework for prevention and control of viral hepatitis with a focus on hepatitis B, because we see that from the hospital record, we see that hepatitis B burden in our country is quite high.
He said the country is also going to eliminate measles by 2018. The survey will also validate the resistance of a body to measles and rubella.
This survey will be a part of a validation process for the elimination of measles by 2018. So from there, irrespective of whether we have the vaccination coverage above 95%, but if we, from this survey, if we find some immunity gap in our population, I think we need to reinforce and emphasize on better coverage of vaccination in our community.
30 Gaoks in 13 districts are selected for the survey. Compiled for Sangye in Paro, Gelson, BBS News. Bhutan joined the international community in marking the World Autism Awareness Day. This time, the day was observed with special focus on deepening awareness for children living with autism.
Two of the many landmarks of Thimphu, Buddha Dordenma in Kunsafoda and Jingme Dorji Wanshu National Memorial Chete, were lit in blue yesterday evening to mark the international event. The color signifies autism. Such a move is aimed at raising awareness about autism and to encourage early diagnosis and intervention. Globally, 1 in every 68 children are born with autism. In Bhutan, there are 83 children diagnosed with autism professionally. Non-governmental organizations in the country looking after differently abled people say autistic children and their family are often stigmatized in the community due to lack of awareness.
Autistic children do not make an eye contact with the person they are talking to. They don't like loud sound or noises. If people tease them, they get irritated faster. Moreover, they actually do not need much company while playing. I would be very grateful if people are more aware of autism and if they could approach autistic children in a more friendly way.
A press release from the Ability Bhutan Society, a non-profit organization, states majority of autistic children are from low socio-economic backgrounds, so the term autism remains new to the parents and is difficult for them to understand.
The awareness is one of the major issues. Early identification and early diagnosis is another one, which we don't have the expertise to diagnose children with autism. So there is a need of greater awareness and more professionals working for children with autism to diagnose and refer to the concerned agencies for intervention.
She added children with autism benefit from speech therapy, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, and behavioral interventions, among others. Bhutan first observed the World Autism Awareness Day in 2013 as per the Royal Command. Samtin Dolkar for BBS News.
Compared to last year, the number of youth abusing drugs has increased this year. Last month alone, police apprehended and handed over 27 youth to Bhutan Narcotics Control Authority.
A counseling session is under progress. An officer from Bhutan Narcotics Control Authority talks to a client who has just completed his treatment. and sessions like this has become frequent. Last year, the number of drug abusers from January till March was 49, but the number shot up to 73 in the same period this year.
It's increasing because I think maybe police are doing a better job, or maybe people are more aware, so they, that they would want to have treatment. So sometimes even parents call police and say that we have this problem. So I think it's not a very bad sign if there are people who are treating who would want to have treatment come out. But I think it would be a bad sign if there are a lot of traffickers around.
Police sent many youths who abuse drugs to our narcotics center. We will be treating them depending on the level of addictions. Most of the people who are sent here are youths, and most of them are aged between 12 and 40.
Youths not only get treated, but also come out with enriched knowledge about the laws.
They did give me a good counseling, and today, after the completion of my treatment, I feel very happy. From now on, I won't involve in such activities. They taught me about the laws and the effect of drugs on our health. I would like to tell my friends to seek help if they are into drugs.
Besides treating the clients, the authority is now planning to create awareness.
We are actually trying to initiate a lot of activities. In fact, starting off right from advocacy, prevention measures, sensitization, and also as well as I think we are also trying to curb illicit trafficking of drugs.
Police are also urging parents to discourage their children from roaming in the town at odd hours. Pema Salin for BBS News.
Starting July this year, College of Science and Technology will introduce Masters of Engineering in Renewable Energy. The program is going to be the first of its kind in the field of engineering.
The conference will serve as an opportunity to explore international partnerships for delivery of the program. It is also to strengthen the knowledge of students in the field of renewable energy.
We had done our needs analysis, and from the needs analysis we realized that there is need for the experts in the renewable energy field. That's how we decided to have master's program in renewable energy. As per the mandate of the Department of Renewable Energy and the Alternative Renewable Energy Act, there is a need for the Royal University of Bhutan to start with the Center of Excellence in the Renewable Energy.
Promotion of renewable energy is seen as strategic use of the country's large renewable energy resources like hydropower, solar, wind and forest cover to shape future energy options.
The government has actually realized the need to diversify the energy resources, and to diversify the energy resources there is a shortage of manpower in the field of renewable energy. So by starting the master's program in renewable energy, we will be training the experts, the existing engineers, both in the government and the private sector in the field of renewable energy, both in terms of design and implementation.
International and local researchers and scholars will also present their research findings on renewable energy for the next 2 days. College of Science and Technology is organizing the conference. Sunampem for BBS News.
Thimphu Tromde has not been able to construct the long-planned new bus terminal in Olakha in the capital. The bus terminal was planned in 2004. Differences between the Tromde and the landowners have delayed the plan.
The 6-acre area identified for the new bus terminal at Olakha belongs to 30 landowners. The Tromde could not begin the construction due to unresolved issues with the landowner. Some landowner claims that they were not consulted while planning and taking the decision. Some of them said Tromde prolonged the work by rejecting the options they provided.
I asked them to pay us money like any other people are paying, but they denied. I then asked for land compensation and told them that I know where lands are available, but they wanted to forward the issue to Lhengi Juntsok.
He says Lhenge Jungsok back then concluded that they cannot go against the right of the people. He added that they could not agree with the Thomde's plan to rent the land.
They asked us to rent the land to them, but I said I did not hear about such system till now. I said that after 4 to 5 years, they would take over our lands, saying that they have paid enough money for the land.
Landowners now say they also need compensation for not allowing them to work for several years on their land. Thomde, however, says the landowner's demand is not in line with the Land Act. He said several consultation meetings were held during the planning process.
Land Act clearly defines that if somebody has no land in Thimphu Thomde, then he or she will be eligible to get one plot. So I think most of these landowners down there, they have land within the city. The reason people say they were not consulted is that during the consultation meetings, people don't turn up. So that's the very reason many of the plans prepared 10 years ago, when we try to implement, we have problems, people not wanting to accept the plans.
Meanwhile, another landowner said he will not accept the land compensation if provided outside the core city area. The Thomde, on the other hand, finds the bus terminal a necessity and are looking for other alternatives to resolve the issue. But given the differences, it is not known how much longer it might take to materialize the decade-long plan. Kiladem for BBS News.
A memorandum of understanding signed between the police and local leaders in Mongar has proven useful in monitoring the usage of Geog utility vehicles. The agreement was signed 3 months ago to ensure safety and solve conflict between police, local leaders and general public on the usage of such a vehicle.
Local leaders signed Memorandum of Understanding with the police to use the vehicles in accordance with the RSTA Act. The MOU, according to the local leaders, has helped them to monitor passengers traveling in the utility vehicle.
In future, problems might arise when people who are not aware of the rules and regulations might think that the utility vehicles are provided for them. So this agreement will make them aware about the stringent rules to travel in the utility vehicle.
People will have different opinions in using the vehicle since it is a government property. When they are really in need, we provide the vehicle. If we provide service without abiding law, it is very risky for us. So it has benefited both the GUPs and the drivers.
So this agreement will make them aware about the stringent rules to travel in the utility vehicle. We give lift to whoever asks first. Once the capacity is full, we don't carry excess passengers as mentioned in the agreement. People who understand the agreement listen to us, but some don't. They listen to us only when we explain the rules.
There are 17 utility vehicles in Mongar. For Sonam Sring in Mongar, this is Pasa, BBS News.
It will soon be mandatory for building owners in Thimphu to have a residential parking. Starting 1st of May, the Thomde will not allow residents to park vehicles along the roadside. Currently, most residents park their vehicles by the roadside due to lack of residential parking area.
People will soon have to park their vehicles either in the residential parking or in proper government parking areas. Parking fees will be charged for parking in designated parking areas. The decision to strictly reinforce the rule was taken after many building owners refused to keep the residential parking area as per the approved design.
During the mapping, if it is a 5-storied house with 10 households, we make sure the residential parking can accommodate 10 vehicles. It should be in the map and we give permissions according to it. After giving permissions, most do not follow the rule. They don't have a point in saying I have to build house on my entire land and keep my vehicles by the government roadside.
He added that the roads are becoming crowded with increase in the number of vehicles parked along the road. Thompe said it is important to keep the roads free of vehicles in case of any emergency or disasters. The decision has, however, left the residents worried.
We live here since we own a shop here. So if we don't keep our vehicles by the road in front, we don't have any place to keep. We have to keep in front of our house for safety. I don't know how it has been planned. They should have informed beforehand that vehicles will not be allowed by the roadside. Even house owners are saying that they were not told before and it is a different plan.
Some owners claim that the rule was not there when they constructed their house long time back.
There were no rules before which say that we should have a parking space. As per their plan, there are certain areas that we should keep around the house and we gave the drawing according to it. They approved the plan if we followed their plans. Now I don't have space for the parking, since it was not kept during the construction. Now if the government does not allow us to keep our vehicles, we will face lots of problems and difficulties.
Thompe, however, says the house owners were informed about the requirement of a residential parking space before itself. He said they cannot make different rules and all the residents should now have residential parking. Starting 1st May, vehicles parked along the roadside will be penalized by the Royal Bhutan Police. Giladem for BBS News.
Residents and shopkeepers of Thopuchen town in Samsi are worried after they were told to vacate by Doraka Central School. The 4.4-acre land, occupied by town residents for over 20 years, has been registered under the school's thumb since 2012.
Except for the 2 households, all other households have been asked to vacate the town land. Some shopkeepers have been dwelling on the land for about 40 years now. They said the land was covered with bushes when they first settled. It was later identified as a bazaar area after people started opening shops. Some of them are worried with the notification.
I'm actually from Gakilingyeo. I came here because my place was remote and there was no school also. There we used to survive by doing some small business. Though we do not pay tax for the land here, I have nowhere else to go apart from this place. We didn't know that this land has been transferred to the school's thumb, and we were shocked when we heard the news. So we will be grateful if government could help and allow us to stay here only.
We have been staying here for many years because our previous Jungpa granted us the permission to stay on this land and sell whatever we can produce to start the small town. Since then, we have been selling some simple things, so we'll be very happy if government could allow us to stay on the same land.
Even if people do not have thumb for the land, we need a town here because almost all the basic infrastructures such as central school and grade 1 BHU are located here. So if government could help us set up a small town, it will benefit the people. The most suitable place for a town would be the current one, if government could adjust the school land from some other area.
The school, however, says the land is needed to construct recreational center, ECCD and staff quarter, which is mandatory for the school.
The land does not belong to them and it was under the Jungkak's thumb. Since 2011 and 2012, the thumb has been transferred to the school. Even if you have a new school construction going on at other place, the current school will remain open. So we are really in need of the town land, because if we look at the current location of the school, everything is located on a hill. And the only plain land that we have is just the town land. So the school cannot provide the land to the town.
Meanwhile, Doroka Dungak, in collaboration with Samchi Dzongkhag administration, formed a committee to find ways to mitigate the issue. The committee conducted its first consultative meeting with the affected parties to understand and ease the problem today. The school has asked 9 structures falling under the school land to be demolished. For Damchazam in Samchi, this is Pasa, PBS News.
Getting or not getting enough sleep is an indicator of one's mental health. Experts say long-term sleep deprivation can lead to chronic health problems like depression, high blood pressure, and heart diseases.
An average person spends about 1/3 of their lifetime sleeping. Some may consider sleep as a leisure or a passive activity after other essential activities are done. But sleep, like water, food, or oxygen, is integral for the human body to function effectively.
Sleep can indicate your mental health. And I can almost tell you that if your sleep is disturbed, I can almost tell you straight away that your mental health is not good. You understand what I'm saying? So sleep is both a symptom of a mental disorder, as well as sleep deprivation can be a precursor or a prelude to having a mental disorder or at risk of mental disorders.
Students are among the population who sacrifice sleep, getting homeworks done and burning midnight candle during exams.
I always tell a student, it's better to study 1 hour at night and with full concentration rather than study 3 or 4 or 5 hours at night and compromising on your sleep.
Actually, I love sleeping so much, but my parents don't allow me to sleep more. So I have a routine. I have to sleep early and wake up early.
Sometimes if there is too much homework or I can't finish my homework, I stay up late. Or if there is a very interesting scenes or movies in the television, then I tend to sleep, take time, end up getting late.
Famous English dramatist Thomas Dekker once said, "Sleep is the golden chain that binds health and other bodies together." So the next time you stay up late into the night, knowing you have early morning office or school, think again. With camera person Chimi Rinzin, Sharab Dorji for BBS News.
Dinmang Hot Spring in Jamgang gets a major facelift. Those visiting the hot spring will no longer have to worry about pitching tents in the limited space available. A 3-storied building with 11 units is being constructed at the site, which will be used as a guest house.
This guest house is the major component of the works. About 95% of construction is complete, with final touches here and there. It will be complete by this week. Visitors are already using the ground floor of the new building.
We used to pitch tents and stay in nearby caves, but now it has eased everything and we are lucky to live in building safely.
Visitors come to the hot spring from November till March every year. They can now relax and enjoy at the improved ponds. The hot spring has 6 improved ponds, footpath and a nekang. The foot trail from the road head at Praling till the hot spring has also been improved.
In the past, people used to stay in caves and it was a problem. But now, with guest rooms and enhanced ponds, I'm sure it will address many problems out here.
Camping sites and previous guest house was not enough to accommodate the increasing number of visitors. The project is being implemented by the Jamgang Forest Division in close consultation with the Dzongkhag. Bhutan Trust Fund for Environmental Conservation is funding the project at over 10 million iltrum. Dunmang Tsachu, located by the banks of Banglachu, is believed to cure joint pains, sinusitis, headache, tuberculosis and other diseases as well. Compiled for Pemsandrup, Sonamfunzu for BBS News.
A senior health assistant at Sinchula Basic Health Unit under Darla Geok in Chuka has proved to be an exemplary civil servant. Besides providing selfless health service, He has been working towards socio-economic development of the community.
50-year-old Sanjeev Suba cultivates sugarcane, brooms and vegetables around the basic health unit. He invests the amount generated through the sale of the products to buy basic utilities in the BHU. Sanjeev takes extra initiative by visiting every household to sensitize on health and sanitation. Today, every household in Sinchula owns a toilet each and no woman delivers at home. And alcohol cases are also very minimal in the village. He has more plans to make Sinchula a model village.
I'm being paid by government, like they are paying me, and then my belly is being paid, and then my family, whole family, even my sons, they could, they got their education from the money that government paid for me as a salary, but indirectly education is given by me, but then is government's money which I have spent for them. So in that way, I feel that I just want to contribute something to the government.
Tatu Sanjeev Subagi te bemedi korigi gyangkudi namisame dindibe soi netangdi yara tombi khalu.
Besides his outstanding duty as a health worker, what Sanjeev is doing is an example to all the civil servants. The BHU itself located at a very beautiful place, and Sanjeev has made it a home for the locals here. I think we should thank him for all his service.
Sanjeev planted banyan and peepal trees to mark the 68th birth anniversary of His Majesty the 4th Dugebo. Besides the residents, a peacock and a deer has found solace at Sanjeev's place. They got there accidentally, but it is his love and care that they never left him. For Sonam Penjo in Funsuling, Pup Game for BBS News.
That's all for this time. Thank you for watching.